Sarah Crowley needs to validate by virtue of her third-place finish at the Ironman World Championship just 6 weeks ago. But a star-studded field here. It's a tough time of the season, Matt. Like, it's late. These athletes have been racing. It's been a long year. So oftentimes these late-season races comes down to who's got it left in the tank.
Yeah, totally. Who's hit their taper right for KONA for that race, and who didn't, maybe dig too deep of a hole going into that race and out of it. But as we see our women lining up, they have to be in between the two yellow buoys here before the dark here on camera. But for safety concerns for the athletes, we want to make sure we keep the course as clear and uncongested as possible out on the bike. So we're going to be through the first lap, and then we'll join the race as they get off the bike and start the run. But right now, they're getting ready for the swim.
And they're off, and I would imagine very quickly we are going to see Lauren Brandon to the front of this race. Meredith Kessler, also in our professional women's field here today, a very strong swimmer. Expect to see her out at the front as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sarah Crowley, she had a great swim at Ironman World Championship in KONA, and always a good swimmer, but it seemed like she took it up another level there in Hawaii. So I'm going to be curious to see how far back she is from Lauren Brandon, as we see that start kind of came up on some of those women a little bit quicker maybe than I think they expected. But you see Lauren Brandon already in the upper left side of the screen already moving towards the front.
Well, again, I think it's a little anxious for some of these women. I mean, as you can see on camera, they start just as day is starting to break, so I think it can be a little stressful thinking, oh gosh, it's dark, where am I headed, where am I looking, where's that lead kayaker, and it does seem like that start caught a couple of these women on the back foot.
Absolutely, and there'll be, another question is how is Lauren Brandon already 10 meters in front of us, I think is probably what Meredith Kessler or Sarah Crowley are thinking already, but as you said, a strong women's field here. One thing that we love about these split fields, we had the men's race in Florida and the women's race here at Arizona. We just have more cameras available and more ability to highlight those athletes racing, and we're going to have a great women's race here today.
Really looking forward to it, and as I said, really exciting stuff with 2 KONA slots up for grabs here, 3 KONA slots up for grabs at Ironman Cozumel, which started earlier this morning. So a lot of action and a lot of slots being given away for the 2020 Ironman World Championship next year.
Yeah, absolutely, and you might see me distracted as we cover the race here because I'll be checking in on that Cozumel coverage as well.
Absolutely, a championship race there, so a lot of excitement there as well. So people can check in, download that tracker app and check in on both races as we get underway here in Tempe. And right away, though it's hard to see from the darkness of the camera, but Lauren Brandon out to an early lead, completely unexpected, right?
Yeah, shocker, shocker as we see her get around that first buoy. But here we go into our course maps in Tempe, Arizona. Yeah,
our Roca swim course is a single rectangular loop, very, very easy for the athletes. No currents, no wakes, very easy to sight along the banks of the Tempe Town Lake, where the athletes exit and make their way onto the Ventum bike course.
Yeah, and the Ventum bike course is pretty self-explanatory. We see go out, and you can have a turnaround at first lap. It's at 18.8 miles on the Beeline Highway, and then right back, and they're going to make that lap twice, that turn twice, so they're going to be three times on this course before they get onto the, as we said, very spectator-friendly Hoka One One run course.
Yeah, Hoka One One run course, spectator-friendly, 3 loops running around Tempe Town Lake, making their way around Papago Park as well. So the spectators get such a great opportunity to cheer on their athletes. Again, this is the home of Arizona State University, so a lot of university students out there, maybe once the sun comes up a little further, out cheering on these athletes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we see our lead women from an overhead shot here. The women that we have as kind of our favorites here today up on screen. We have Heather Jackson. She was 5th at Ironman World Championship. Sarah Crowley was 3rd place there. Heather Jackson has bib number 1 because she was the defending champ. Lindsay Corbin was 10th place at the Ironman World Championship. Lauren Brandon has had some great results, won Ironman Boulder this year. Meredith Kessler has had some amazing races here in Tempe at Ironman Arizona, and she's looking to kind of find that success again here today.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We talk about those two KONA qualifying slots that are up for grabs, and we mentioned Sarah Crowley finished third at the Ironman World Championship, so she needs only validate. She will not take a slot. And Lindsay Corbin, by virtue of her win at Ironman Wisconsin just before KONA, she has already qualified for 2020. So if they finish in the top, these slots could potentially roll down to some of these other notable athletes.
Yeah, so the likelihood of other athletes that are looking for those spots are our favorites to probably get those spots. Heather Jackson is most likely, in a great position to be able to get that spot if her race is good. Meredith Kessler obviously will be trying to get that spot as well. Any other athletes that you're looking for?
I'll keep an eye on Maureen Hufa. She, out of Germany, she could factor in potentially battle for the podium, as well as Anna Watkinson out of South Africa. She will definitely be competitive here today.
Yeah, I think Anna Watkinson has the strength to do it. Her bike strength is one that can put her in that position. And let's not neglect to say Lauren Brandon is one of those favorites as well to try to get one of those KONA spots. And we see her on screen on the upper left. It's pretty. Lauren makes it easy for us for a couple ways to know it's her because she's at the front. We always know she's going to be the one at the front. And if you were to Google perfect swim stroke, a picture or a video of Lauren Brandon would come up on screen. So pretty easy for us to know that's Lauren Brandon in the front. My guess would be that that's probably Meredith Kessler or Sarah Crowley at second and third place.
Yep, that would be, I think, a very, very safe prediction there. And Lauren Brandon, as we're so accustomed to seeing off the front of this professional women's race here today, and the athletes making their way through the first sort of long leg of this rectangular Roca swim course.
Yeah, and so, we talk about this race being spectator-friendly. Obviously, on the bike, you've got 3 laps. On the run, you've got 3 laps. But on the swim is kind of underrated. There's a few bridges that the athletes will swim under. So we have spectators kind of lining those bridges. Right now, you're looking at kind of the walkway next to Tempe Town Lake where you could ride a bike or run or walk briskly next to the athletes in the swim and actually watch the swim. Where in most races, you see them leave and you see them come back around an hour, and that's what you get to spectate of a swim course. But here in Tempe, we obviously, with our boats, we've got a good view, but spectators as well can get out there on course and watch this swim kind of unfold.
Yeah, we had a big welcome, first of all, to our Facebook viewers, our Facebook fans out there. Thank you for tuning in with us here again on a tape delay. The action you're seeing here on camera happened a couple of hours ago, and we will take you on a tape delay through the first loop of the bike and then catch up with the professional women as they're approaching T2. So, again, that is due to safety on the course. One of the great things, as we have mentioned, about this course is how spectator-friendly it is. 3 loops on the bike, 3 loops on the run, but what that means is that there's limited real estate for all of the athletes plus our camera moto. So out of the safety, an abundance of safety for the athletes, we are on a tape delay. We had a question from a Facebook viewer, where in Tempe you can go to watch. This is Tempe Town Lake, so head on down. You'll start to hear the noise and the cheers and see the athletes out on course, and we encourage you to do that. It's quite the spectacle down there.
No, it absolutely is, and as we said, you can take a look and even watch the swim, which is pretty unique. And looking at this shot here, I want to say this is Meredith Kessler, I believe, in second place that we have on screen as she swims right past one of our water safety volunteers. Awesome to have them out on course to make sure everybody gets through this course safely. But it really is one of my favorite things about this race and this venue, and I think one of the reasons it's so popular is that the ease for spectators and friends and family to come out, but also it really is cool, and every year I always forget that it's dark when you start, but being able to start a race and have those nerves and that anxiety and start in the dark and as you're swimming kind of be able to watch the sunrise. And I think there probably isn't anybody that is enjoying it more than Lauren Brandon, mostly because she seems to be happy all the time. But it's a little bit more peaceful when you're the one who's setting the pace and deciding the effort that goes out there. Where if you're Meredith Kessler or you're Sarah Crowley or Heather Jackson, Lindsay Corbin, you're chasing and you're like a little bit frantic, where she's kind of in her own zone right now.
Definitely she's driving the pace, and I think the fact that it is just getting light might also be another advantage, an added advantage for Lauren Brandon. Certainly the amount of confidence you have in the water will definitely carry you through the slight anxiety that it's a little darker than some other races, you know, at the start. And I
Yep.
think so. If you're not as strong a swimmer, you may have a greater level of anxiety about sighting and this, that, and the other thing. Again, this is a very athlete-friendly swim course. The very contained Tempe Town Lake. You can see the shore right there. There are lots of bridges. It's not a particularly wide body of water, so it's hard to get lost, so to speak. But still, an advantage for Lauren Brandon, just given the conditions at the start of the race.
Oh, absolutely. And this course in general in this swim, the field tends to stay a little bit closer together because you aren't going to have those huge errors for people that are, you know, not sighting correctly.
Yes.
or that, right? You can